The top 10 things that you can do to win at life and to create your greatest impact. Number one, you got to use the right affirmations. Use the right affirmations. Affirmations like I can. Zig Ziglar once said that he doesn't know of anything that's called I can't, because I can have a can of something. I can have a can of worms. I can have a can of soup. I can have a can of drink. I can have a can of pop, but I have never heard of a can't. So what I'm trying to say, get rid of all the can'ts in your vocabulary and replace them with can. So moving forward, you're going to be saying not only I am possible, you're going to say I can possible. I can possible. I can do this. I can win this. Replace your can'ts with cans. So when you replace your cans with can, guess what I want you to do? I want you to pop that can open. I want you to open that can and take a whiff or a drink of whatever is in that can. Inside that can is called possibility. All things are possible. I don't know if you're a believer. I'm not here to preach you, because there's more than enough preachers out there on planet Earth. Everybody is a preacher nowadays, but I'm not here to preach you. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an author. I'm a corporate trainer. I go in and do staff development. That's what I do. Okay. I'm a people person, not here to preach to you, just here to encourage you and give you some nuggets that's going to help you to transform your LIFE while you are alive. All right. Does that make sense? All right. Remember, there are no cans in life. You can't drink out of cans. You can drink out of a candle. All right. Let's rock and roll. Number two, be diligent in your actions. Be diligent in your action. If you have made a decision to do something, whether it's to go back to school, whether it's to start that business, whether it's to start that online course that you know you should have started a long time ago, go and do it. But be diligent. Be diligent in your action. Mean that don't just talk and give lip service. Get to it. Do it. Make it happen. And only you can make this happen. Let me tell you something. In life, only you can make this happen. There's a saying that I have. It's I posted it on my LinkedIn channel. I posted it on my Facebook channel, and I said to them, I said, listen to me. If you don't believe it, they won't. They will not believe it until you do. So I'm encouraging you today, whatever you have in your heart to do, do it. A great speaker once said that the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Yes, I beg to differ. All right. That great speaker was Dr. Miles Monroe. It's true to some extent, right? Because what he's saying is that there are people who have gone to the grave, and guess what? Didn't live their dream, didn't sing their song, didn't write that book, didn't write that piece of music. It's gone to the grave. And I've always said this, that the grave and the trees have something in common. The trees love the grave. That's right. They do. You know why they love the grave? They love the grave because the grave have the nourishment that feeds their roots with what? Your dreams. So your dreams are now in the roots of those trees. And you see them waving back and forth. They're waving back and forth. They're happy. They're dancing. Whenever the wind goes, the wind basically, you can't see the wind, but it's talking to the trees. He said, let me see what you got in your roots today. And they just start to dance. See, I got music in my roots. I got a new book in my roots. Hadn't been written, but I know what it is because I got all the substance in my roots. So what I'm saying to you, don't wait to live your best life. Live it now. Be accountable to you and be persistent. Be persistent and be diligent in your actions. All right. That's number two. So you want to have the right affirmation. You want to get rid of all the can'ts and put all the can in your life. You know what? There is another story that's in the Bible, and it was Elijah came to see this woman, and this woman, he asked this woman to make him a bread or something like a bake me bread, right? The prophet came and said, bake me bread. And then the prophet was waiting for the bread, but the woman said, I don't have anything else. All I have right now, I'm going to use this thing and then I'm going to die. Me and my child, we're going to die after this. That's it. That's all I got. I got nothing else to give you. You know what he said? He said, go ahead and bake me a bread. The woman listened to the man, went on and baked the bread. But you know what happened? A lot of times in life, all we got is that last little bit of confidence that last little bit of confidence. And I want to let you know, if you step out on that last little bit of confidence, it will change your life. That could be the it that you need to get you over the hump. That could be it. Just give it one last try. And I remember that after the woman baked the cake for the prophet said, good. I would like to go out on a limb and say that the prophet just burped or belched. It's like, oh, that hit the spot right there. Now that you've taken care of me and I'm now full, I'm ready to release what I got for you. So guess what? The prophet said to the woman, go and get all the cans, get everything, the bottles that you have in your house. He didn't say can't. Go and get all the cans. And when you get all the cans and jars in your house, bring them to me and I'm going to fill them up. And that's exactly what's happened. When you have done everything that you can, when you have stepped out on your last possibility, that's when you need it. Another great example is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusader, one of my favorite movies, by the way. And there's a part in it where it's talking about the leap of faith, the leap of faith. So that means he has to jump over this big precipice. He had to jump over this vast gap. It was like a gully. It was like an abyss. There was no bottom to it. And everyone who came to that spot in the past prior to him died. Everyone did. They all died. They all fell into the pit. But the goal of this particular activity was that he has to believe. You have got to believe. You got to be convinced within yourself that this is it. This was your last chance. This is your last step. And by faith, he clenched his chest and stepped out. Clenching your chest and being diligent in your action is saying that, what have I got to lose? You ever ask yourself that? And there's a common saying, there's a cliche saying out there that says, what would you do if you know you couldn't lose? So I'm asking you that today. It's not mine, but I'm asking you the question. What would you do if you know you could not lose? The answer is, I hope your answer is, I would try anything. I would live my best life. I would give everything I've got. I would give my last jar. I would give my last can, and I would fill them up until it overflows. And when I do that, my greatest impact that I have created would have transformed the world. That's what I hope you would say. All right. This is pumped. This is absolutely pumped. I'm telling you, this whole session here is going to be life transformational. You are not going to be the same after you finish listening to this right here. So I hope you listen. I hope you comment. I hope you share this with everyone that you can. All right. This is my first live YouTube session, and there's going to be more to come. But I want to let you know right out of the gate, it's happening here. All right. My goal in life is to help you to create your greatest impact where you live, where you work, and where you play. That's my book. Is coming up. It's on the way. Release date's coming up very soon. And I hope you check it out. I don't hope. I know you're going to pick up a copy because this is going to change your life. All right. Let's rock and roll. Are we ready to go? Boom. If you're ready to go, give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Whatever you got to do. Smash the like button. Hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Make sure you never miss one of my next live sessions. All right. Let's rock and roll. So number 3. Number 1, we said you got to have the right affirmation, get the can'ts out of your life and get can, because all can possible. All can possible. If you have a can, you can drink out of that can. Can't drink out of a can't. And then we say number 2, you got to be diligent. Diligent in your action. And number 3, you got to be vigilant. What does that mean? Diligent means to keep going, to be committed. Vigilant means you got to be vigorous. You got to go with all the gusto. You got to put some guts into this, because the road is going to get tough. And if the road gets tough, what are you going to say? What are you going to do when the haters come to you and says, oh, you can't? They're trying to put a can't in your can. What do you say? You have to be vigilant. Vigilant means you are victorious. Vigilant means that you're vigorous. You're putting the right energy into this thing. That's what vigilant means. How much passion you're putting behind what you're pursuing. That's what it means. Okay, so that is Number three, I'm running through them right now because I'm just going to give you them. You're going to go back and look at this, and we're going to edit this and put in all the little stoppage in there and all that kind of stuff and make sure it's all pretty up. But I'm giving you raw just like that. If you're joining me live, this is Andrew Guy with AndrewGuySpeaks.com, empowering you to create your greatest impact where you live, where you work, and where you play. If you are joining me for the first time, this is my first live feed, guys. Thank you so much for hollering at me. Run over there, get over there, find me up there on YouTube. I have youtube.com/AndrewGuySpeaks. All right. If you want to connect and follow, I encourage you to go follow me on social media. I'm on the Instagram. That's right. Instagram is Andrew Guy Speaks. I'm also over there on Twitter, Andrew Guy Speaks. Our only place that I'm really different on social media is on the Facebook. On my Facebook page is Andrew E. Guy Speaks. Andrew E. Guy Speaks. Make sure I'm clear with that so you can get me. All right, let's rock and roll. So we talk about those top things. We said, have the right affirmation. Be diligent in your action. Be vigilant in your pursuit. Be vigilant in your pursuit. You're going to need that passion, that vigor, that conviction to say, yes, I have this. This is for me, and nobody else is going to get this but me. That's what you need in life. Okay, I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to say it. If you're a male, they're going to ask you, got to have some BALLS. You got to have some cojones. You got to make sure you got some gusto. Hey, listen, I'm keeping it real. A lot of people say that's not politically correct, but let me tell you something. Sometimes we are so politically correct that we are so living or successfully incorrect. You're not saying it so you can fit into everybody's box, but you need to know what affirmations to use for you. You got to be passionate, okay? You got to have guts, okay? You got to know that there's nothing in life that somebody's going to give to you. You have got to go and get it. It's like a bull. If you don't get up on that bull and ride that bull, let me tell you something, it's going to come after you. And you better hope you got a red sheet that you can put up as soon as it comes. You just flash it, because guess what? It's time for you to get up out of your comfort zone and take the horns of life and ride it into the ground. I am here for you. My name is Andrew Guy. In case you don't know about me, yes, this is my first live stream, but listen to me. There is more to come. I am bringing this to you. So be pumped, be attentive, and listen and get ready. Okay, more information coming. So you want to make sure you're vigilant in your pursuit. The next thing you want to do is you want to have a plan of action. A plan of action is like going on a trip. And as you go on this particular trip, you have a map. Like nowadays, you know, you have the GPS, you plug it in, it says turn left, turn right, go straight, do not exit, exit right here. All of these things are happening. So a map is really, a plan is only a map. Does it mean that you're always going to be following that particular map? Sometimes you may have a detour. Sometimes they may have construction in the road. A construction in the road simply mean that some things haven't really panned out the way you planned it. That's all a construction mean. That means the normal path that everyone takes to get to that particular destination, well, it's not working right now because they're fixing it. Because so many people have taken that particular path, then guess what? They need to make sure they are fixing it. And that's exactly what's happening. So when that patch in the road is fixed and repaired, then you may go back there. But you know what? Detours are actually good. Detours basically check to see your level of commitment, because a lot of people come to a detour, they see the detour, and guess you know what they do? They just said, this ain't for me. And they turn away and they miss that destination. I'm going to encourage you today, keep going no matter what. Detours or construction on the way to your road to success is a good thing. It's going to check your resiliency. It's going to check your level of commitment and how bad do you want it. That makes sense? Let's keep it going. All right. Number 5. This is powerful. If this is helping you, put some comments in the box. If this is helping you, say, this is helping me. Say it with me. This is helping me. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know if this is helping you. Share this with somebody. This is changing my life. Not tomorrow, today for tomorrow. Today for today. So, and if I get an opportunity to live for tomorrow, then I'm going to take that too. But I am not moving backwards. I am moving forwards, just like playing golf. I'm not a golfer, but one day I'm going to get out there and hit that ball. So there's a first thing for everything, right? So when I hit that ball, all I'm going to say is forward. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. You need to step up and take a swing at life. Swing at life, because you never know. You never know. Some people say, hey, I don't play baseball. I've never hit a home run before. But guess what? You never hit a home run because you've never swung the bat. I'm telling you, your passion, your pursuit, your plan, your determination, all these are examples of the bats in life. You need to step up to the mound and swing, baby. Swing at that thing. This leads me to my next point. I get passionate about this thing. I'm sorry, okay? But I'm really not apologizing. I'm just letting you know this is how I feel, all right? And I'm trying to help you because it helped me. And guess what? My goal in life is to help you to create the greatest impact where you live, work, and play. We're going to get into that in another time and explain to you what that means. But this is my passion. This is my purpose. This is my life assignment. And I'm making sure I'm giving it everything I've got. Now, when I'm finished, the good Lord called me home. He said, well done, good and faithful servant. That's what it's about for me. That's what I want to hear. All right? So I want you to hear that too. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to see you there too. All right? Let's rock and roll. So this leads me to my next one. Never be afraid to try something new. Never be afraid, guys, to try something new. Trying something new is like working a new muscle. Have you ever, I don't know if you're a workout person. I don't know if you go to the gym, but I want to let you know. If you go to the gym and you work out, you know what's happening when you're working out, right? What? That's right. You're challenging those muscles to do something. But here's what's happened. Because the body is so amazing, it adapts to whatever you do. It adapts to whatever strains or demand you put on the body. I know this because my background is in anatomy and physiology, and I also have a degree in exercise science, a degree in medical biology, a master's in kinesiology and human performance. So I know what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about how the body adapts to whatever strain that you put on it. All right. I spent many years working with athletes and doing rehab therapy at multidisciplinary clinics. So these are some of the factors that I had to deal with. People who have MVA, motor vehicle accident, strain or ankle and or joints, and we had to rehab them. So I'm telling you right now, I'm actually doing a rehab with you, with your mind. Get your mind muscle to get back reconnected. So I'm telling you, do not be afraid to try something new. It's like working a new muscle that you haven't worked before. Here's the good part. At first, when you start to do that new activity, well, you're going to feel like, oh man, this is hard. Yes, it's hard. You know why? Because you haven't used that muscle before. And that muscle may not be as strong as it needs to be to help you to make sure that movement is smooth. And let me say this to you. When you first start to do a particular movement, from a skeletal, muscular perspective, anatomical perspective, you may be jittery, you may shake, you may feel nervous, and it may not come out as smooth as possible. That's because the muscle is not strong enough to help you to move or to ambulate through that movement. The word ambulation is talking about movement, so to speak. So ambulation is like walking. So that's what that means. So if there's a case where you can't walk, then the ambulance will become your leg. So that's where the term comes from. Ambulate, ambulance. That's what it means. All right. So we clear on that. That's all the science I'm going to throw out at you today. All right. So you don't have to worry about getting a science quiz after this. Let's rock and roll. So when you try new things in life, it opens up your body, your mind, your mental acuity, and being mindful to learning and to growing. The growth is happening when you try new things. That's what's happening. Your muscles, when they go under stress, they tear apart because they're striated. They have stripes. In other words, for lack of a better word, for an easier terminology for you to manage, they have, think of the muscles as striated in stripes, like pinstripes. All right. And so what happened is this, like when you work a muscle really hard, it tears up. It tears up, right? It rips apart. But then when the muscle rebuilds itself, it's not the same muscle. It gets bigger and stronger because you have now stressed that muscle. The same thing that happens when you do new things. When you do new things in life, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of the public, my followers out there, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, business owners, entrepreneurs, I'm calling you. When you do something new, You are challenging yourself to grow. Do not be afraid to try new things. New things is a sign that you're ready to grow. And when you grow, when your body goes through these movements, they will adapt to the level of the stress that you put it under. Does that make sense? So, why did you feel nervous when you first started? Why did you feel jittery? Why was your movement so uncoordinated? You know why that is? Because that muscle has not done that job before. And here's the great part. When you feel that jittery, you know what the body does is so amazing. And the reason why I'm talking about the body like that is because I wrote a book. I wrote a book on the subject matter to help people understand how the kingdom of God works. It's called The Anatomy of the Kingdom and the Power of Community, exchanging religion for a life of function and purpose. It's on my website, andrewguyspeaks.com. It's out there at Amazon. Go pick up a copy. It's the book you've got to read. When? This year. And it's talking about how your anatomy comes together, and we are the organs within the body of Christ. And when we do what we're supposed to do, we maintain life in the body. Does that make sense? And each joint supply it. And everyone inside the body is very, very important. And every cell in the body matters. Just like they're talking about Black Lives Matters, all life matters. But right now, the one that really matters is the one that's on the chopping block, the one that's getting extinct, the one that's getting killed. And that's what we're talking about. That's what it should mean, that, hey, Black life matters, all life matters. But right now, we need to give more attention to what is of urgent matters right now. Let's get back to our subject matter, okay? So when you feel jittery when you're moving, you're not well supported by all the muscles because the body is not used to using it, right? So here's what's happening. When you do that, then the body is recruiting. The body, the muscle is screaming. It said, hey, I need help. There is a movement here that I've got to do, that I need more help. I need to make the person's leg move, but I don't have enough strength. And so that particular muscle scream out and send signal to the other muscles, the other fibers. And so everyone is coming to help that one muscle out, right? That's exactly what I talk about in the book, the power of community, because there is strength in numbers, okay? But there is power in community. That's what I'm talking about, because you could all be standing together in a particular place, strength, right? But the power is in the community, in the commitment, in the communion, in coming together. Does that make sense? So that's why you do not want to be afraid of doing new things. I know we stress that a lot, but it's important for you to understand doing new things is about growing in yourself as a person, mentally, physically, spiritually, if you're a spiritual person, socially, all of these things. I've never done a live stream before. This is my first live YouTube stream, and I'm throwing it out there. Now, if this helps you in the long run, hoorah, power to you, my people. That's what I'm talking about, all right? So number 5, never be afraid to try something new or try new things. Number 6, this is powerful. It kind of piggyback off number 5. It says newness is a sign of growth. How do you know I was going to say that? Man, I'm so powerful. This saying is so powerful. Not I'm powerful, but what I'm saying, I believe is powerful because it helped me to transform my life. Newness is a sign of growth. Growth. Perfect example. When the rain fall, they say, I guess it's spring shower, April shower leads to spring growth, something like that. I don't know what the saying is, but it's out there. So what happened is simply this. When the rain fall, you see all of these little grass and these are the sucklings coming up, right? It's new. That lets you know spring is coming or spring has sprung. What does it simply mean? That when you see that new grass start to grow, then you know there's something new happening. There is what's called a renaissance, a rebirth. The old grass have died off in the winter if you live in a 4-seasonal country or location or region, right? Then that's what's happening. So the old stuff has died, and then in the spring the new things come to play. New things comes up. So newness is a sign that you're growing. If you started a new habit, try to start a new habit every day, and you have 7 new habits every day. Oh my goodness, 365 new habits a year. You're unstoppable. All right. So newness is a sign of growth. And here's what I want you to understand. If you're not growing, you're not learning. And if you're not learning, you're not going anywhere. And if you're not learning, you're not living. And if you're not living, you're dying. And if you died, you would have taken everything that you should have given to the world or put in the hearts of men and taken it to the grave. And now who has that? The trees have that. Now the trees are saying me, na 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 na. We have your books, we have your music, we have your dreams. And the trees are dancing, and the wind will say, "Sing it now, sing it." Feel like I'm in church right now. Let me knock it off right here. All right, but let's continue. So newness, it's very important, guys. Whenever you see newness, that simply means that there's growth happening. Okay. The next thing, let me go and add a little bit more to that. Um, I'm thankful that I'm a father of two amazing young man sons. And I remember when they were growing up, they're still 9 and about 12, 13, still young. But when they were growing up, I remember when they're having toothache and stuff. And we were wondering what's going on when they were really, really young, right? It means that they were teething. That means little teeth are popping up. These little teeth, they're coming up inside there. So when you feel that change, wherever there's going to be change in your life, there's going to be a little bit of pain. Pain meaning that there's growth happening. Growth meaning that newness is happening. And so that's a sign that there is growth happening because those little teeth are busting up through the gums and they're coming out. Now, as they mature and get a little older, what happened? Then they have their tooth in there. They have all these little teeth in there and stuff like that. But guess what? The permanent teeth are not there yet. So those ones have to go. So then they say, "Daddy, Daddy, my teeth hurt." And then it's just dangling there. It's always just dangling. It's like, "Oh, let me get it out." Bam! And then a couple more days, you realize there was another tooth growing underneath there. Why? With newness will come some pain. Where will come some struggle in your life. But I want you to work through that because just like a tooth, you just got to wiggle it. You got to work your way through it and then snap through that thing. And guess what? Then you will make way for that new tooth to come out. Does that make sense? That's going to be your permanent tooth. And that is going to be your permanent status in life as a successful person. Does that make sense? It's rock and roll. Is this good to you? If this is good, send a like, send a comment. Show me how this is helping you so I can continue to bring this kind of training to you. That's what it's about. Let's rock and roll. So we said newness is a sign of growth, but number 7 says growth is a sign of maturity. Growth is a sign of maturity. And what do I mean by maturity? Maturity doesn't mean that you have a different kind of hormones, or now if you're a man, that means that, you're growing bigger shoulders or your voice is starting to change. That's not what it's about. Real maturity, spiritual maturity is awareness and accountable for your actions. That's really what maturity is, because I've seen guys out there who are big and buff, have all the muscles in the world, 6'5", 250 pounds, but you think that they have a brain for a peanut, right? So, and it's not to belittle anybody, but that's just an example. It's coming to show you that maturity has nothing to do with your structure, your size, your external size. It's about what's going on between your ears. That makes sense? Is what's going on between your ears. That's where that maturity happens. Okay. So let me recap these last 3 because I think that they're intertwined. And I really think that this is a key for most of you guys right here. It said, never be afraid to try something new. And newness is a sign of growth. And number 7 says growth is a sign of maturity. And number 8, I'm going to jump right into that right now. Number 8 says maturity is a precursor for responsibility. Man, this is powerful here. Send me some likes. Share this with a friend. Make sure everybody get this information because they're not teaching you this information out there. Yes, they're talking to you about get rich scheme and all these different things, but they're not. This is about personal development. In my book, Work Your Words, Find Your Pathway to Personal Success, one of the things I talk about in there is that success must first be personal before it becomes public. You must be successful on the inside before it manifests itself on the outside. You have to understand that success is a personal pursuit before it becomes a public pursuit. And I flipped it around. I said, okay, what about those people who have public success? And we're talking about, for example, child stars. All right. I'm not going to pick on anybody. I'm just going to just leave it as it is. A child star, a child that was a star at an early age. And if you look at them from a teenager perspective, as they get older to young adult, many of them turn into drugs. Some of them have committed suicide, no longer on earth. They're gone. They're gone. And this growth is a sign of maturity. As they grow up, they probably didn't mature. Yes, they had all the accolades. They had the names in life. They had money that they didn't even know how to spend. They had a manager managing their schedule, so they didn't learn how to schedule themselves, how to manage their time. And managing time is not really managing time, guys. You can't manage time because time will continue to go regardless of what you do. Managing yourself is key. That's why we're talking about growth is a sign of maturity. And number 8 says maturity is a precursor for responsibility. Many of us are missing it. Many of us don't have what we need to have in life. Many of us don't have the success that we wish we should have, because guess what? This number 8 here is what's messing a lot of people up. It says maturity is a precursor for responsibility. If you're not responsible, then guess what? You know, the good book once said, even what you think you have will be taken from you. So let's say you have a house, let's say you have a car, but you need to be responsible. You need to make sure that you're taking the time to wash the car, tune up the car, making sure everything is in place, making sure you're doing what you can to maintain the car. Responsibility, another word for responsibility is simply means maintain. That's it. Another word for responsibility is maintain. To maintain what you have now, so later on that will mature and grow, and then you can get more. And the story that I've heard about in the Bible, and they call the three servants. The three servants. The three servants, because what? One was given 5 talent, one was given 2, and one was given 1. But all of us have gifts, but the gifts that we have, we've given based on our own ability. And I wouldn't say just ability, because everyone has the ability to do great things, right? But what I believe is that the gifts were given based on their level of faith and commitment. Everyone can have $50. Another story, I'm going to use that to help you understand what I was talking about with the 3 servants. There was 2 guys, a story about there's 2 guys that went to Africa, and the company paid for their flight and sent them over there and said, hey, listen, I want you to go over to Africa and I want you to check it out. Tell me what's going on over there, right? Anything new, bring it back and let's see what we can do, right? We're trying to expand our business. Just tell me what you see. One of them came back and said, man, sir, it's terrible. You do not want to start a business over there because all these guys are barefooted. They're walking on the road. They got nothing going on. The economy, it just looked terrible. These people are to be pitied. One guy came back and said, no, sir, I see something else. I see barefooted people who need some sandals. Let's start a business and send them some sandals. That company, hypothetically speaking, metaphorically speaking, went in to make billions of dollars, because Africa is a continent with many countries. I know many people don't know that, right? It's not like the United States. Well, it could be like the United States with many states, all right? But I'm talking vast. I'm talking huge places, all right? That's what it was. So one guy came back and he saw business opportunity. Other one came back and he saw doom. He saw death. He saw, disparity. That's what he saw. So my question is, now, what are you seeing? What are you looking at? What you're looking at must be something that matches where you're going. That makes sense? Let's rock and let us roll. So to be mature is to have a precursor for new responsibility. Now, number 9 is kicking, and it's getting gooder, and it's getting gooder and getting gooder. That's a Southern talk, all right? I went to Southern Arkansas University, so I heard quite a bit of these Southern things. Gooder means it's getting better, all right? So here we go. So responsibility, number 9 says responsibility is the embodiment of accountability. Man, this is so powerful. You got to tell somebody about this. I'm so pumped up in here. So in order for me to move on, I got to go back and just give you from 5 all the way down to 9. Is that all right? Here we go. Number 5. Number 5 says Never be afraid to try something new. Number 6 says newness is a sign of growth. Number 7 says growth is a sign of maturity. Number 8 says maturity is a precursor for responsibility. Number 9 says responsibility is the embodiment of accountability. Accountability means that, listen, whatever you are given, when the master comes back and he says, listen, what have you done with the resources that I've given you? You can happily say, here it is. If he have given you 5, you may have doubled it. You have doubled it and now you have 10. If he's given you 2, you have doubled it and now you have 4. If you've given you 1, you should have showed up with 1. The one who had 1 talent and didn't do anything with it and hid it and didn't invest it, guess what happened? Weren't accountable. Accountability is really accounting, so to speak. That's what accounting is. Accounting basically, it's not about this hard mathematic formula and stuff. No, accounting is simply being accountable for where the money went. That's all accounting is. And the same thing happens for your life. You got to be accountable and have an account for your actions daily. That's why we have a schedule. This is what we're going to do today. At the end of the day, what did you do and what did you accomplish? That's being accountable. The guy with the 1 talent was not accountable. He was accountable to only a certain circumstance that he knew where the gift and the talent was. But he wasn't accountable enough to invest it, to grow it. And if you follow those other 5, 6, 7, and 8, you should know that, hey, it's about growth. It's about increasing. It's about abundance in life, having more than you need so you can be a blessing to somebody else instead of being a curse. All right, let's continue. This is so powerful. Number 10. But I got to do 9 and 10 together because they just go together. All right. Responsibility is the embodiment of accountability. Number 10 now, accountability is the foundation of ownership. Accountability is the foundation of ownership. Only those who understands true ownership will be accountable. Period. If you don't know what it's like to own something, you'll not take care of it. Another thing that I want to say is that here's a bonus that I want you to get. Don't own anything. I'm talking anything. Don't own anything that you are not ready and willing to work at, to work for, to work with, to invest in. And above all, do not own anything. This includes a marriage, this includes children, this includes a car, this includes commodities. Doesn't matter what it is. This includes, above all, relationships. Don't own any that you are not committed to stay the course to see your patience pay off. I call this the harvest that only time and perseverance will tell. If you're not willing to do any of those guys, it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. You can be that seed that's in the perfect soil. You will never grow, no change will happen, and you will never bear fruit. I want to encourage you today. I don't know where you are in your life. My name is Andrew Guy, Andrew E. Guy, author of Work Your Words, Find Your Pathway to Personal Success. I am the founder of Greatest Impact University. We're going to have courses coming out to help you stay on track to find your pathway so you can get your own personal success. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. We're being persistent. We are working around the clock with my team to get all of these things done. But until that happens, I'm going to be out there doing live streams, encouraging you day by day. The streams will come out every weekend. Every Friday, we're doing the streams. We're sending them out. And every Saturday, we're live. We are live. We are live on our podcast. If you want to check me out on my podcast, it's over there at Overcast. Call I'm Listening, I'm Ready. Overcast, I am listening, I am ready. Go find me, Andrew Guy. Now, listen, if you want to go ahead and find me on social media, I'm out there on LinkedIn. That's Andrew Guy Speak. I'm on the Instagram. That's exactly right. Instagram, that is Andrew Guy Speaks. I'm out there on Twitter, Andrew Guy Speaks. I am also out there on Facebook, and that's the only place that I'm actually different, guys. On Facebook, it's really simply Andrew E. Guy Speaks. Let me say it again, Andrew E. Guy Speaks. I like saying that. But if you don't find me, if you traveled everywhere on social media and just can't find me, I want you to knock on my front door. Bang, 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 and go to www. That's my home. www.andrewguyspeaks.com. When you go there, you'll find information. You get, if you want to book me to come and speak to your audience, book me to speak to your conference, book me to do an event with you or to partner with you to do a virtual webinar, whatever. Just reach out. Reach out and connect. One of our people will get back to you. You would be either Dave or our other booking staff, Rose. One of them will get back to you, but reach out. I am so thankful. It's 44 minutes and 45 seconds. I am so thankful that we're able to hang out today. If this has been an encouragement for you, please put some comments in the box. And of course, I want you to go and subscribe to me on YouTube. That is Andrew Guy Speaks. And also hit the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. That means every time that I throw down a new content, you will be having access to it and you'll be able to know when I am going live. All right. This has been amazing. All right, guys, this has been a slice. I want you to take care of yourself. And again, reach out to me and let's connect so we can help you to create your greatest impact where you live, where you work, and where you play.